This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily match those of WPSL. However, we are the ones who encourage you to like and share them on social network. Like, share, and subscribe to WPSL TV on YouTube so that you can binge watch you some Careology. In fact, the show's on right now thanks to Carebag. Here's your host, Roxy Brown.
Thank you, Cliff. How are you doing?
Oh, excellent. Oh,
Excellent. You had a good
better.
weekend, and happy belated birthday.
You too.
We're in the same week, so that's all good.
We're twins of different mothers. Yes.
And fathers.
Yes, yes.
I'll have to put both of them in.
But we both have something in common. We both have parents. So,
okay, that's enough talking to Cliff right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, you don't
Everyone, welcome back to Careology. My name is Roxy, and if you're tuning in with us, you're driving home, thank you for listening and coming back. If this is your first time listening, I welcome you and I thank you. Again, my name is Roxy. I'm CEO and founder of Carebag Incorporated. We are a local nonprofit here on the Treasure Coast, and the one thing we do, and we do it well, we provide access of proper hygiene to our homeless and our families in need, and we do that with pride. And we cover the Treasure Coast all the way down to West Palm. We go as far as Boca, or if the Broward Sheriff Office calls me and needs me. We've gone with them a couple of times, and it has been a very humbling experience. So again, thank you. Careology is a radio show every Tuesday on WPSL, and it is about the science of caring, and we cover what happens here on the Treasure Coast, and we do a different twist to it. But right now my heart's aching because in the news we have lost 14 children, one teacher, to a senseless, deadly shooting in Texas. So my heart and my condolences go out to the family, the staff, and the state of Texas. And again, this has happened. And every time this happens, we go, not again. Again, we need to get our country in grips with what's going on because our children are our future and we're killing them off like flies. And that is unacceptable. And our hearts goes out to the war that's still happening in Ukraine. If you listen to me, you know that's a big thing for me. A senseless war that's going on. So many people displaced. Our hearts go out to them. But I'm going to touch on something. I did have a birthday, so thank you everyone who sent out birthday wishes. So I went out to dinner last night, and I'm not going to say the restaurant I went to. The food was fabulous. The restaurant was fabulous. And we had a great, great time. And if anyone's wondering, yes, I went with my husband. So we have to put that in. But now this happened. We got the bill. And nothing irritates me more than getting a bill and you have decided what tip I am going to pay. The service. And my waiter he was all right. I would have actually tipped him more. But what about if he was a crappy waiter? Because you get them. You've decided that I'm going to pay for the service I get. Doesn't matter what service it is. So what I encourage, some people just get their bill and just pay it. You need to really look at your bill because he was all right. You know, he could have been better, but you put $18 on there for me to tip him. What about if he was worth $5? What about if he was worth $10? So, you know, look at your bill. I might take a few calls on that because I know you guys love when this happens. So you know the number, 772-340-1590. And if you've had an experience with that or you want to comment, it's okay. Today it's okay because I never knew how upset I was about that, Linda.
So let me tell you
Okay.
that so many people don't look
At their bill.
add
Another tip. Yes.
and have walked out without realizing
Mm-hmm.
that some of them are making
Good money.
30%.
Yes. You better listen. If you're listening to WPSL on Careology, we have just informed you. Look at your bill. They are doing it as a service fee. That's what they have it located as, a service fee. Like I said, the food was excellent. The drinks were phenomenal. You know, his service, I don't like anyone to come and talk to me too much. Once I tell you what I want and you ask me, is everything okay once I tell you it's okay, it's not going to change. Do not irritate me. I kind of give you guidelines. I'm good. We're good. Bye. That's it. You know, but they decided that is what I'm going to pay. And for some reason, that irritated me.
So I don't have a problem with that if I walk in with a group of 20.
Yes, that's what I even said 8.
Well, and
Yeah.
many of it is
Yeah.
eight, but at least that way
They
because
get their
I
work.
want the server
Mm-hmm.
to make money.
Money, yes.
Absolutely do.
So for people that don't know, waitresses and waiters really don't get, they don't get a straight salary. They're not paid by the hour how somebody else would be paid. But what happens is their pay is very minimum. So, we need to tip them. But I believe in good service. If you're going to work, you need to be tipped for good service. If you're doing a crappy job and you already know your tip is in there,
But we also have to remember they're not the ones that set it.
I know.
It is management
I know.
that determines it.
I know.
So it's one of those slippery
slopes, but they do know because I said,
Of course
and
they
he
do.
looked at me and he was like, "Well, if you want to add more," and I guess the expression on my face was like, I said, "Okay, ma'am, no, don't try me," but I just wanted to put it out there. It was good food though. I will not say the restaurant because I love the restaurant. Good friend of mine, so I'm not going to talk about it. But food was good. So I have gun control on my paper, and Lord knows I'm trying not to touch that because that's a touchy, slippery slope here. But country, we need to do better. So everyone's hearing a voice, so I'm going to introduce my voice to me. This is Commissioner Linda Bartz. Hello,
Hi,
ma'am.
Roxy,
Hi.
and happy birthday.
Thank you. And not only is she our lovely commissioner that loves our county, she's a good friend of mine, and I am so happy out of your schedule you got to come here. So we're going to have fun. We're going
When
to touch
you
on
asked,
everything.
I figure out a way to come.
She sure did. And we're going to talk to her a little bit more. But the rules on Careology. We're going to do a little housekeeping. So everyone have their pens and paper, and Cliff got it ready. We have July 31st. And July 31st is a big day. I'm really, really looking forward to this because so many of our children do not participate in sports. They can be the next Usain Bolt. They can be the next Phelps, the swimmer, the next football player, Manning. They can be anything. But the point is you have to have a doctor's medical certificate to play sports. And parents is from $60 to $100 or maybe even more. Right now, some parents aren't going to put out that money. So July 31st, you're going to have Carebag Incorporated. You're going to have Cleveland Clinic. And you're going to have Hands of they have such a long name. Hands of St. Lucie County. And we are going to be there. Hands is going to be offering $50 gift card for anyone that wants a vaccine or a booster. So if you have been thinking of it and you haven't got it done, this is a good time to get paid to be safe. That amazed me that I said that. Pay to be safe. That's important. And then we're also going to be doing pediatric and adult health screening. So you don't have to be a child. It can go from ages 0 all the way to 100 and plus. You can come out and we have diabetes screening, we have health screening, HIV screening. This is for our community. If you go onto Cleveland Clinic's page, the Hands Clinic or Carebag's page, you can get that information. Because if I give you the address, it is going to be at Treasure Coast Church of God, 7th Day on Savona Boulevard, right on Savona Boulevard near Parr. It's the Yellow Church, and that is where we're going to be having it. We're going to have Walmart, Children's Services, Boys and Girls Club. We're going to have so many different services that are free to the community. And on top of it, every half hour, we are going to be giving away a $50 gift card to those who register.
What a wonderful thing to give back to the community.
Not a gift basket, yes.
Parents cannot
afford.
Not at this time.
No.
Not at this time because if I have sports or I have groceries.
Or if I have gas to get to work.
Well, frankly, I'm going for groceries.
Yes.
Even before anything else
Yes.
because I want those babies
to
fed.
eat. That's right. We even have a problem with a shortage of formula. So now that's problem number 102 that we're having. But they're nonprofits here. We collaborate, we partner, we get together, And that is what we're offering you July 31st. So we are very excited about that. And again, it is the Cleveland Clinic. It is the Hands Clinic of St. Lucie County and Carebag. We've partnered, and we're going to come up with a wonderful event. We're going to have healthy food. We have Walmart Neighborhood Market that is going to be providing us fruits to, for the kids coming out there. We're going to have games. We're going to have so much. So it's not just going to be for the health, but it is going to be all healthy. So I want you to come out, enjoy yourself, and if those kids need a certificate, they're going to get it, and they're going to get it from the best. The next day now, we're full for you. The next day, August 1st, at the Mid-Florida Event Center is our Carebag's Big Community Day. Kicking It United, and we have free haircuts, free pigtails. I keep saying pigtails, thinking of pork. But pigtails, braids for our girls, or if the girls get their hair cuts or if the guys get their hair braided, it goes both ways. And this is free for all school-age children. And
Again,
that I'm excited about.
You should be.
I am, because it's
should
giving
be.
back. Plus, we have book bags, backpacks, book bags that we're going to be giving away. And we have so many businesses that have put books in their businesses to be filled up with book supplies. If anyone registers for our backpacks, they can register for underwear and socks. If they don't, they just get a backpack according to age. So we are very excited. I do not want to start calling names of where I have the backpacks, the boxes, because I am going to get in trouble. But I'm going to try, Miss Bartz. I'm going to try to see if I can name the names of where we have the boxes, because I want people to know it is important. And first, I know we have 2 men in a truck. Thank you very much. They have been going about and they have been dropping off all our boxes at our previous locations. So that I am so excited, and thank you again. We have at St. Lucie Jewelry and Coins with Hawk. They have a box there. Again, thank you. We're excited. Elite Electric and Plumbing. They have a box. This is all coming off the top of my head until I get to it. Then we have Grozer Builders. Thank you very much. And also thank you to AG Pools. They have been a contributor to our back to school, always doing in the community. I can't say enough about everyone that I'm saying thank you to. Then we also have Dyer of Fort Pierce Chevrolet. We have Lexus of the Treasure Coast. That is our sponsor. We have Expert Shutter Service right here, and they are phenomenal. We have All Roads Truck and Auto. I know I'm going to miss somebody, and somebody's going to get upset with Roxy, but they have my number, and yes, Cliff, they're going to get upset with me. Yeah, they love me to a point. But I'm trying to think who else we have, but you can go ahead on our Facebook page and you can see the amount of places we have the boxes. And I just want to go ahead and say thank you. Oh, South State Bank. Thank you. We appreciate you. So, Boys and Girls Club, Children's Services are on board, and we are just so excited. And we just want to say, again, I always say one community, one solution. So one solution, one community, doesn't matter how you say it. We can't do what we're doing unless the community gets involved. And this is not a fundraiser. This is a community event where we are giving back to our kids. Every kid should go back to school with a book bag, with a haircut, with school supplies. Times are hard. Those who can afford it, my heart is pleading out to you. Let's do something. It doesn't take to go grab some paper, some rulers, some pens at any store, local store. I'm going to call Walmart because Walmart is a big supporter of Carebag. Go into the store, buy some paper, some books, a book bag, a good book bag, a book bag you would want to see your child or your grandchild in. I always say that. Don't buy cheap. Cheap doesn't last. We don't want children to be bullied. We want them to have good stuff. We have a list here. I gave Cliff a list last week. I don't know if he still has it. We have on here binders, folders, notebooks, plain paper, pencils, pens, erasers, colored pencils, crayons, markers, highlighters, calculator, whiteout, staples, chapstick. I put chapstick because sometimes I see these kids' lips and they need some Vaseline. And I also I know you're laughing. Hey, it's true. And I also put on here umbrellas. When you're driving and you see it raining, these kids are standing there soaking wet. No raincoat, no umbrella. And this is not the day where you can pull over and say, I take you to school. You get arrested for that. So, rulers, compass, tape, let's just pick up a couple things.
Would it be okay for some folks to maybe drop some of these school supplies by the radio station?
They sure can, because Miss Carol said we can have a box here.
Oh.
So, yes, you can come here to WPSL.
Swap shop people
That's
who
it.
call the show. Some of them might have hoarded some school supplies.
Bring them in.
Perfect.
I'm gonna pack a box and bring it here personally tomorrow.
Okay.
So we've had 2 men in the truck that have been diligently going out to all the businesses. I thank them again because they're taking their time and resources to do this for us, and we know they're very much into the community. So thank you, Shauna. It's a family-owned business, 2 men in the truck, right there on Walton Road. If you're planning to move or do anything, please give them a call. All of these businesses are so important to making not only myself but other nonprofits. For those that listen to the show, we've had so many nonprofits on here. Our first one was New Horizons, and we learned so much. And I'm going to say it again, mental health is struggling in our country. If you need help, dial 211, let them know. You can talk to a licensed individual, and they will actually have someone come to your home at no cost to you. Your life is precious, and I just felt like putting it out there. So I just want to let everyone know we are digital on Careology on WPSL. You can listen to us on many forms, Google, Alexa, TuneIn, all over the world. So you cannot miss us, and we are the worldwide access. But I want to I'm going to put my paper away. I want to get to Commissioner. It feels weird calling you Commissioner Linda.
I know, because I always say, call me Linda.
Yeah, Linda. It's Linda. That's what it is. Tell us about yourself and how you got involved so those who are living under a rock that don't know you might know.
Okay, before we go there.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to talk a little bit about your back to school program.
Okay, go right ahead.
First of all, I know those businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And our businesses step up to the plate.
Yes, they do.
Anytime there's a need.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime children are involved.
Yes.
So I'm so pleased to hear that.
Yes.
And I will also say that typically back to school, hopefully it'll happen this year, there are so many stores that are buy 2 for $1.
Dollar, yes.
Or 2 for 50 cents. So there's crayons and pens and obviously the little notebooks. So again, when you're picking up for your child,
pick up for another child.
If you can,
yes.
Certainly pick up for another child. But I think that program is so great because so many kids need it.
Yes.
And I have a grandchild in school.
Yes, you do.
So I watch those kids when we pick her up, when we take her to school. And you don't want the kids to be bullied because they don't have.
They don't have. No one should go to school and worry about, I don't have clean socks. So just to let you know, if our parents register, I have a big blue barrel full of socks. I'm going to ask 2 men in the truck. I know we're going to help bring my supplies over. And if parents need socks, if we have the correct size and you need it, brand new underwear, brand socks, we're going to have deodorant. Most of us may be listening to this station. Maybe you know what it is like, or maybe you don't know. But every child, I deal with Susanna. She's one of the truancy officers at Port St. Lucie Police Department. And some of the stories she tells me, she'll see, why aren't you in school? I don't have clean underwear. I don't have clean clothes. So I'm just going to jump back a little bit. I'm going to digress. I had to go ahead and get some things washed, some mechanical shirts and stuff washed because I didn't want them in my washing machine. They had grease on them. So we went ahead and we took them to the wash house. $4.50 to use a washing machine. My husband said, how much you think it's going to be? I said, let's put it on the high end, $3. Because I'm getting the quarters ready. I said, it won't be $3, but let's just put it on the high end, 4 people. For those that know, I didn't know. $4.50 for a washing machine. So if you have a house of 4, mom, dad, brother, and sister. I'm just saying a house of 4. No one really has a house of 4 anymore, but we're going to just say 4. And you have laundry, you have dark, you have white, and you have colored.
Absolutely.
Now, then you have to dry. That's a lot of quarters.
Usually costs a little bit more to dry than it does to wash.
It always costs more to dry. And I know it was expensive. I always knew it was expensive, but I didn't realize how much it went up. And then the cost of everything, I was like, yeah, but imagine how hard it is for a single mom, a single dad, a family that just can't afford it. Because trust me, for $4, how much we can do 3-4 washes at home before we even get to $4.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we can do like we can wash them every day, and it's not our water bill, and it's not going to rise $4 like that. So we have to think of this, and I wanted to talk about it just to let those that are fortunate, that if you have a heart and you want to give back, this is it. You want to find more about Carebag, keep it real simple, go to givecarebag.com and it will take you to our official website. And thank you, Jet, for doing that for us, because our website is www.carebagfl.org. He said that was a mouthful. So 16 now, he said givecarebag.com, and he bought it for Carebag.
Wonderful.
He's been on this show. So thank you, Jet. I know he's listening.
He's actually hosted the show in your absence.
Yes, he does. Yes, he has, and he'll be back again. So we are, we want to. If you want to help, you can go on there. If you want a box in your business, reach out to us. The radio station has my number, but our number is 772-222-7399. So I just had to throw that out there. Go ahead, Commissioner.
No, it's important, and I don't know how much you know about my background, but I was a single mom at one time, and I was using a laundromat because
that's what you had to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So those of us who are more fortunate now need to remember where we came from and think about those things, because most people don't think about how do you wash your clothes. They are blessed to have their own washer and dryer in their house. They are blessed to have a house.
Yeah.
So
a washer and dryer.
We need to remember where we all came from, whether it's us personally, whether it was our families, and we need to, as we become in a better situation, we need to remember to give back what we can. Some will be able to give small, some will be able to give large, but we need to give back.
And not only give back, you said that small. I remember when Carebag got its first donation in the mail, and it was a little letter that says, I just want to bless you, and $10. And let me tell you, we are 5 years old. 6, but 5 officially. Linda, I have never, there was no, whoever did it did not want me to know. No return address, no nothing. But that has made such an impact, because it reminds me in the Bible when they said the little mite. The widow gave all she could. And that's what it is. It doesn't have to be a whole, hey, you want to bless us $1,000, write a check. Those who can, please do. But if you can go out and buy a pack of crayon, you can buy a pack of paper, you can buy a pencil, because that one pencil is going to go into a kid's hand. That's it.
I think that most of the general public isn't even aware that there are children out there that are homeless.
Yes, they don't realize that. So it's sad. I know we call a lot of our children, some live in cars, some live in tents. Some, we call them couch surfers. We have a lot of couch surfers. The commissioner's here. She can vouch for that. But between the Treasure Coast and West Palm, Carebag has a little over 6,000 children between the Treasure Coast and West Palm. Those are what we know of.
Well, and I keep saying right now the face of the homeless is changing.
Yes, it is.
It is changing. It is moms who are working, cannot afford rent because they were paying $800.
Now it's $2,500.
Or whatever.
Whatever it is.
And so they're living in their cars with their children, finding a way to get showers, and going to work every day.
Yep.
So that changes the whole face.
That the whole narrative has changed since the pandemic has happened. Everything changed, and now with the rate of inflation, now with the rate of everything, with this war, just everything, it has really changed. And I'm so glad you say it, because when I say it, I see Cliff looking at me and doing this because it's time for a break. But we're gonna go to a break because this, when it's, when we have a good guest, because time just flies by. But my sponsors are important, valuable. So Roxy and Commissioner Linda Bartz and Cliff, we will be back about what we can do to make our community even better after these messages. Watch the road, stay tuned, be careful. We'll be back after these messages. If you could reimagine the way you buy a car, what would you do? Make it simple, make negotiations disappear, demand transparency, then experience amazing at your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Car Buying Simplified. Treasure Coast Lexus is a proud sponsor of Careology. Every Tuesday at 6:05 p.m., caring and supporting for our community. Car Buying Simplified. Check out your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Why call two men in a truck of the Treasure Coast? You want to move your business without moving a single meeting? You want it handled with no fuss. Lots of stuff, no time to move it? You need the pros that care. That's why you call two men in a truck of the Treasure Coast. Family owned and operated franchise. Call 772-236-0827. 772-236-0827. Movers who care. Visit Two Men in a Truck, TreasureCoast.com. Hi, this is Roxy, your host on Careology here at WPSL. We want to invite you to help us give back to school. We are filling 500 book bags with all the essentials kids need for school. You can go ahead to our website at givecarebag.com to see the many locations that our boxes are going to be present. Help us fill these bags for our boys and girls in our community. Thank you so much. Carebag Incorporated is a registered 501c3.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
And now back to Careology, the science of caring. Once again, here's your host, Roxy Brown.
Thank you, Cliff. Thank you, and welcome back to Careology, the science of caring. My name is Roxy, and I'm lucky to have in my presence two distinguished individuals, Cliff and Commissioner Linda Bartz. Watch him say something.
I was wondering who else is in here besides Linda Bartz.
Listen, without you, I couldn't do this.
I'm just the engineer,
So there
though.
you go. Trust, you're not just the engineer. That's like talking about I'm just a pilot.
Well, same thing. Yeah,
No, it's
yeah,
not.
It is important in a way. Yeah.
Yes, it
okay.
is.
The
Don't-
buttons are important.
There you go, because I don't know which one to press. So.
I do it by second nature, so
There
I don't
you
even
go.
have to look.
Well, we appreciate you. If I didn't tell you, we appreciate you. So we're going to go back to our esteemed Miss Linda. So you were telling us a little bit about yourself, but tell us I'm going to give you the floor, and I'm going to actually turn my mic away. And I'd like to know, how did you get started? I know you love this county. How did you get started into doing what you're doing, and what are the plans? And I know a little bit, but I'm going to let them do it. The various things that you're working on that our county is going to go ahead and benefit from.
So I actually got started with the city of Port St. Lucie. Prior to that, I was a longtime banker. There was an open seat. By the way, I said I would never be in politics. I also said I would never be a banker because that was way too establishment when I grew up. So I literally, as hokey as it sounds, I woke up one morning and said to my husband, I think I want to run for office. And he said, you said you never do it. I said, this is the first time I found a home. I grew up military. I lived all over the country. I lived out of the country. But Port St. Lucie
Something about it.
was my home. So he went, okay. He said, just make sure that there's lunch meat in the fridge.
Something to eat.
And I must say I failed on that
And you
several
failed
times.
on that. Thank God for different places to grab some food. So that's good.
But I was fortunate enough to run and win my race. And it was all about, this was my home. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be a part of the direction. And I had been so fortunate through the bank that said to me, if you care about something, get involved.
Yes.
They never said you must join this organization or that organization. They gave me the rope to say what's important to you. So over the years, it's been children, it's been veterans, it's been the homeless, it's the arts. I will tell you that last Friday we had an opening at the courthouse. We have art in the courthouse. We had painted the first floor.
Wow.
We have local artists that have displayed their work, and it's amazing. Gives a whole different feel to the courthouse. It is not, I don't think, as intimidating to people.
Anymore.
So, and the plan is that next year we'll change it out. Or as we sell art, we'll have to replace it.
There you go.
But good turnout. I think that we still have some other things Art and Cultural Alliance can do, and we're working on those. You know, someday.
Gradually, as we get there. Yeah.
Someday, if you ever invite me back,
Of course.
I'll
What
be
you
able to
mean?
tell you what some of those projects are. And I'm really excited because one of them will truly involve the children.
Well, that's good.
So I'm excited about that. I have been working diligently for years on the opioid.
I've been waiting for that. Oh, yes.
I
I haven't been to a meeting. It's been COVID.
It is
It's
near
a
and-
big thing.
it
We talk
is.
about it. Talk about it.
It is near and dear to my heart. Most people in this county, in the city of Port St. Lucie, know that it affected me personally and continues to affect me personally. So I advocated first with the city and then with the county, and we went into a lawsuit against Big Pharma.
That's right.
We were approached by an attorney firm who said that if we would come on board, there would be no cost to the county or the cities. Well, I'm going to be honest, I never thought we'd get anywhere. They're just too big.
They're too big. No, nobody's that big.
Guess what? We won the lawsuits.
All right. Can we have a? That's what I was trying. We're gonna do a big old clap here.
Well,
That's what
I
I'm
have to
talking
find
about
it.
because I don't know if you can. I might put you on the spot. Can you let us know how much the county won? You can't.
We are, well, not because I
non-disclosed.
can't.
Not.
Because I can't.
But you
there
won,
is-
right?
We did
won.
one.
Well, that's a good
And
thing.
Walgreens just did a huge settlement.
Okay.
So as we go along, that will affect all of us. We are now working on a plan on how to distribute
Distribute
it
the
because you don't get money without.
Some little loopholes you gotta
Well-
you gotta jump through and knock through and
We wanna-
skip through.
We want to make it right.
Yeah,
And-
you just don't want to waste it.
And for me, it's also about mental health.
Yes.
Because I don't believe that probably in 95% of the cases, you don't have a drug problem unless
Yes,
you
yeah,
have a mental health
problem.
issue. And
And a lot of the opioids are causing that. I'm just going to pause a minute. When these commercials come on television, I make it a point of duty to listen to, they say at the end, you may have or you may see symptoms of. How can you I know that's a whole nother show. How can you take something for depression or mental illness, but it gives you suicide tendencies?
But all of those
All-
have side effects.
All of them have side effects, and it's amazing when you listen to them what the side effects are. And I said there has to be a better resolution to this.
Well, and sometimes that is working with your therapist, letting them know
The
that
tendencies
the
you have.
medication isn't working, and seeing if another medication will work. There's just so much that
you
we
have to
could
stay on
talk.
top of it.
We
Yeah.
could talk about mental health for a long
Oh yeah,
time.
we've had plenty shows. on
And
mental
now,
health here.
the big crisis is the fentanyl.
Yes,
And unfortunately, that is killing
especially our children.
our young ones
Yes.
who don't understand what it's all about. So it's a crisis. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
So now that you said that, it just came to me, and I wasn't going to interrupt you, but I have to say
That's
it.
okay.
We have a lot of grandparents. We had a lot of people that are looking after their grandchildren. They're looking after their great grandchildren, and you're on medication. It's not a point of just putting your medication in your medication cupboard. Trust me. These kids are smart, especially COVID babies. They're smart. You have to lock it up. You have to put it away, because these are how the kids are getting it. They're selling it. They're giving it to their friends and family. If I'm wrong, interrupt me. Take care of your medication. You're not using it anymore. It expired. Give it to the pharmacy. Have them dump it.
Oh, you have another option, though.
Yes.
You can take it to law enforcement,
Yes.
the police stations, and drop it off.
Yes.
No questions
No questions
asked.
asked.
So
We want to keep our children safe. That's what it's about.
And there are parties
Yes.
where kids get medication from each one of their households
And bring it
dump it in a bowl,
and say, hey,
and they don't know what they're taking.
taking
And it reacts differently
to different
on-
children.
Absolutely.
You don't know what you're allergic to. You don't know what you ate. You don't know if you're allergic to something in there. There's so many things that go on. I hear some parents say, oh, not my child. You know what? Yes, your child.
Absolutely.
Yes, your child.
I lost a stepdaughter who did three things at around the same time: turned 40, became a grandmother, and went to hospice after an opioid overdose that included fentanyl. And we lost her. At age 40, she just became a grandmother, and of course, went to hospice all about the same time. Very
the same
sad.
time. Very
But
sad.
that's a very dangerous thing that's going on out there. And folks who aren't affected by it, they don't
They don't
they
know.
don't think they don't believe it exists. But
It exists.
yeah, when somebody breaks into your house and ravages through all your medicine cabinets and stuff, there's
That's
a
a
problem
drug
out there.
yeah, there's
That's
a big
drug
problem.
addict who
Yeah.
does that stuff.
They don't want anything else. That's what they want. And we want to open the eyes. And
Yeah.
Commissioner Bartz is doing that. I've been to many meetings before COVID. And just to hear some of the stories, just to see what's going on, we need to pay attention. It's out there. And it's not the person that you think. It's the person that's sitting next to you in the office doing their work and looking like they got it together.
Well, you
Well-
can't tell. You can't tell that
Yeah.
they're like that until they run out
Then-
and they start
yes.
having withdrawals, and then you see all kinds of manifestations.
It's a tough situation. I will say, and I've said it from the dais before, is that it has affected almost everyone. It may not be your immediate family, but it could be a best friend.
It could be
It
somebody
could
you
be a
know.
cousin, an aunt, an uncle that may not even live here.
Yeah.
But,
And you may not even know.
well, you may not, but that means their family is also
right.
dealing with it. And so, again, it affects so many people, not just that person.
The community in a whole it affects.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's tough.
It's
You know?
sad. I hear someone came to me one time and said, well, if they have an overdose, they can just give them something, they'll bring them back. Half of the times, a lot of you may not know. And like I said, we sit on a lot of meetings. I've heard it at the meeting and I've heard it from other people. But there have been cases where, Narcan is administered to help that individual, and that individual comes back in such a state and kills the person, the fireman, the ambulance technician, whoever it is helping them, just not knowing. You know, there's so many people that are affected by this in so many ways.
You know, Roxy, I keep Narcan in my office.
So do I.
I've had it there for a long time. It is, again, you never know.
You never know.
It is easily administered. It gives you time until law enforcement or the fire district and the ambulance can
come.
get there. But again, people, not only do they react that way, sometimes you are using it 3 and 4 times. They will transport to the hospital. They come out of the hospital literally in a couple of hours, and they use again.
Use again, because and you know why? They use it at the same level that they did it before, not knowing what has happened to them. And a lot of our people are dying. They go for help. They get off of it. They're doing good. Then for some godforsaken thing happens, they go back and use it again, and they start off right where they left off, not knowing their body cannot react to that. And traumatic things happen. And it's just sad.
Well, and we don't have enough resources. So they go to get help. Sometimes they've got to have an inpatient. And your insurance, if you are lucky enough to have it, typically only covers 28 days. 28 days
That's
typically is not
It's
enough.
not enough. That's
It's
not
not
enough time.
Sometimes they need 3 months, 6 months. We don't have a lot of those facilities.
What can we do? What can we do to make that happen in our county?
You know, we keep trying to help with that. We do have New Horizons. We do have the hospitals. Law enforcement is much more aware than they used to be. The fire district is much more aware. But along with affordable housing and the other
Problems and situations
things
that we
need,
have.
you know, that is a private industry coming in.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, most people don't want it where they live.
Yeah. Everyone says that. I don't want it in my backyard. Well, if it's not in your backyard, where is it going to be? It has to be in someone's backyard.
Well, when I was with the city of Port St. Lucie, there was a group that came that was going off of Torino. The neighbors, who were literally across in a development, came out screaming.
Oh.
Turned out they hired an attorney. They were going to sue the city for $6 million. We ended up having to let them have it. I was okay with that. So just recently, I happened to see one of those gentlemen who had come before us. And I said, "How are things going?" He said, "Linda, I think they closed down." And I said, "Really?" Because I go by there all the time. He said, "There's never any cars there." I said, "What did I tell you? It was only going to be staff." I said, "Those people don't bring their cars." And I said, "And they don't go anywhere."
Yeah, they're just inside.
And
They're
he said, "I had no idea." I said, "And that's what we tried to explain. That is what was so important."
They think they have a conception that people are going to be outside doing drugs. I don't know where people that's like someone going to the hospital. No one is going to operate outside. No one is going to take your blood pressure outside. It's going to be done inside in a facility. People have a conception. You build something, you're going to see it. You're not going to know anything. It's just that everyone doesn't want it in my backyard, not in my neighborhood. It has to be somewhere, because not until it affects someone in your family and you start looking around for where you can take them and find out there is no place, then you want it.
And we have many in other counties. We just don't have enough here. So, you know, it's something that I personally continue to look at and advocate for. It is just, we have too many people in jail that are drug and mental health related that shouldn't, I'm going to say shouldn't be there. However, maybe they should. due to what they've done.
Or some under circumstances
But
did it because of the mental illness.
I was going to say, because it relates back.
Yes.
So, that's not what the jail is for. That is not what their job is, and yet that is what they have had to do and become.
Yes, Cliff?
Do we lack mental health facilities and it winds up in law enforcement's hands? Are there mental health facilities that are capable of actually helping people besides letting it fall in the hands of law enforcement? There
are not enough. We have to continue to work on the stigma of having to admit that you have a mental health problem. That's a big one. I know when I was growing up, nobody had a mental health problem.
Oh, yeah.
And in many cases, if you had a depression problem, the doctors drugged you. They gave you Valium, things like that, because they thought that would relax you. And that is the way it was back then. We didn't have the technology and the knowledge of the drugs that we have now.
And a lot of drugs to help them just kind of makes it worse because
Absolutely.
It's part of the dependency.
Absolutely. But I don't think, I don't want to blame those doctors because truly, I think in that generation, they did what they thought was right. They did what they had studied.
Yeah.
And again, there was a stigma. Who talks about mental health?
Nobody.
My child's acting up.
It's one of those undiscussed things.
It's always one of those. And in some families today, it still is. In 2022, it still is. You don't want to talk about it.
And we don't want to be liable for what we say
right.
either.
And it's like the conversation about sex. You don't want to talk about it.
Right.
But trust me, they're doing it. So.
Well, if you don't talk to your kids about it, somebody else will.
And you're going to get the wrong information.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening with the drugs also.
Yeah.
Because kids have a way of getting into everything. It doesn't matter.
They
everything.
Experiment.
Yes.
And they have no fear. And they don't understand that, yes, you can get addicted to it. So, we were kids. We were immortal. We did things that we shouldn't have done because we didn't see that it would hurt us. How is that going to affect me at 16, 15,
and
17?
I don't think we thought about taking our parents' medication.
No.
No, we.
No, that came along later, and my goodness.
You don't want to take. That's for old people. We never came. So this generation and the media, the social media, we have so many things that are going on with it. So these kids are they have so much access to the good, but the wrong information. I can't believe time is almost up. What else you got to share with us?
Wow.
I know. I told you when we having fun.
Time flies on the radio.
Yeah.
I know. There's just so much going on.
There's so much. We have to have you
I have to
back.
tell you,
Yes.
on the downside maybe, next week starts hurricane season.
Oh, yes, I know. And people, I heard it's going to be a rough one.
Well, that's been
Sorry, Cliff.
predicted. However, it's been predicted in the past.
Yeah.
I sat at the EOC during Dorian, and when they said it was going to be a direct hit on Port St. Lucie, I moved the little one out of town. As it turned out, it didn't hit us. It hit all the way up.
All the way up.
So even though, yes, we're supposed to have some strong storms,
We need to be prepared.
I want to say 3, maybe 4 actual hurricanes. And at this point, we don't know where they're going to hit.
You don't know how the wind is going to travel, but we can be prepared.
Right. And right now we have nothing out in the tropics, so that's a good thing.
Good thing.
But this is the time, and soon we're coming on the sales tax relief.
Yes.
So be picking up
those things
that
that
water.
you need. Yes.
And for those people who haven't lived in Florida before,
welcome to hurricane season.
Well, remember that you need to have certain supplies, and those supplies are listed everywhere. So
I can't believe time is just going. Linda, oh my goodness, this was so much fun. We got to have you back. But that we have a couple more minutes, but we want to know, where can they go to find the list for hurricane supplies?
stluciecounty.gov.
stluciecounty.gov. Yes, Cliff? Cliff is itching.
Well, it's wonderful because, every year we try to gather all the resources we can because we go on the air when the storms are approaching
but
and nearby.
we need to be proactive because remember,
right.
gas is up.
Yeah.
Things are getting more expensive.
It's not gonna get any easier when the
People
hurricanes
start
start.
doing those, and I'm gonna say those stupid things, buying water and want to sell a case of water for $30-$40. I
Price
wish I could
gouging's
find
illegal.
price gouging is illegal. Do not let Roxy find you.
Well, remember also those lines at
Yes.
Home Depot, at Publix,
Yes.
at Lowe's.
Start getting little by little. If you can afford it, start getting little by
you
little.
need water, you need batteries, you need non-perishables.
Well, I know we run out of time, but I got to say one thing. Southern Eagle Distribution during the hurricane season gives Carebag water, and we keep water in our facility for our moms with babies that can't afford it. We've done it every year.
Wonderful.
Every year. And I know that the Bush family is going to do it again. I don't even have to ask. They do it every year. But it's coming down to time. Linda, it has been so much fun.
Oh, thank you.
And we
Thank
have
you.
got so much information, and now I gotta redo how I'm gonna do things. We gotta do a show on hurricane getting preparedness because we want our people in our community to be prepared. That's so important. I've started already. Every time I go to the store, I pick up 2 to 3 cases of water.
You have to.
You have
and
to.
I keep seeing it on sale.
Yes.
So take
Yes.
advantage.
That's it. Take advantage. My time is up. My time
Just
is
about.
up. Just about.
Yeah.
Linda, we had Commissioner Linda Bartz, and we want to thank you, County Commissioner Linda Bartz.
District 3.
District 3, thank you, Cliff. And it has been a pleasure. We've learned so much information. To those that have tuned in and to those who have come on for the first time, thank you from all over the world listening. Careology is the science of caring. I want to say thank you. Tune in next week, Tuesday, same time, same place, same channel for Careology, Science of Caring. We love you. Our hearts are out to the families. Say a prayer for them. Bombard God with all the prayers for these families that He can bless them and comfort them for the war in Ukraine. And that is my last thought for the day. Cliff, have a good evening.
You too. Go to carebaginc.com and look for that event happening July 31st. This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
Resist. Let Design a Sign in Port St. Lucie help you get the job done right. Over 80 years combined experience. Get it right the first time. Call 772-337-4027 and tell them Roxy said to call. Remember, call 772-337-4020. Design a Sign in Port St. Lucie.